Ready? Welcome everyone to Lore Lunchbox.
Beautiful.
Good start. Welcome to Lore Lunchbox, episode 6. This episode we are doing Parks and Recreation. It's kind of what do you call these kind of shows? It's like The Office.
Don't they call it like mockumentary, or am I totally wrong?
Maybe that sounds like the closest thing. So it's a mockumentary show, and this episode will be the second week of the month. So it's shows or movies, and yeah, we chose Parks and Recreation. If you guys have never seen it before,
That's crazy.
that would be really crazy. It's like one of our favorite comfort shows. It's one of my favorite comfort shows. I mean, there was like a period of like a difficult time in my life I was going through when I was younger, and during that time I just watched a bunch of Parks and Recreation while I just laid in my bed, and I feel like it helped me get through hard times. But for this week, my co-host, what'd you make for this episode?
Breakfast, because Ron Swanson loves breakfast foods and bacon, right? And then of course
Ron is a character, obviously, in Parks and Rec.
Ron's the dude with the mustache.
Yeah, he's the kind of the big honcho guy over everyone in the department.
And then we made waffles because Leslie is obsessed with waffles from JJ's Diner.
Leslie is a second character.
Deputy director.
Yeah, she's like
I can't talk either.
She's like second in command in the Parks department. Also, I'm your host, Tavita.
What's up, Tavita?
It's gonna be, I think, a joke every episode where I say I'm the host like 5 minutes into it.
Hi, I'm Lexi.
And that's the co-host. And here is the meal that she made. Look how nice that is. So right here we have bacon, and then she also made some scrambled eggs, and then we got hash browns, and then sausage links. Look how nice that looks like on this plate. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus correctly. Yeah, but
show the waffles.
Oh,
we
sorry.
put a ton of whipped cream because Leslie does that too.
And then on top of the yummy breakfast that she made, she also made sorry, I'm laughing. A waffle with syrup and a big pile of whipped cream. It didn't look so deflated like 5 minutes ago, but it looks like
oh, it looks so sad.
So it looks like someone just kind of like upchucked a bunch of whipped cream on it.
Oh, gross. It died.
But we're trying to put like an egregious amount of whipped cream on it because in the show, one of the way Leslie Knope likes to eat the waffles is she puts a crazy amount of whipped cream on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When did Parks and Rec come out? Like early 2000s?
I have no idea.
I think it's early 2000s because I think they either might have been continuing it, or they were like near the end or just barely done with it back in 2018, when I watched it for my first time.
You know, I feel like the first time I watched Parks and Rec was with you. Is that true? So when I was in college, I had two friends that would watch it all the time when I would hang out in their room.
Yeah.
They would just have it on. And so I saw bits and pieces of it. But I feel like the time I actually watched it for real was with you.
That might actually be true because for some reason I remember your first reaction with the show.
Yeah, it must have been with you. I mean, like I said, I saw bits and pieces.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track because it's one of our comfort shows, and so whenever we're just like doing other things or just like not feeling too good, that's something we'll just put on.
It's been on a lot lately.
Yeah,
but it's not because we're sad. We're okay.
No, we're actually fine. Right, this is the time where we're fine. We just want it on. It's just a comfort show.
Mm-hmm.
How far are we currently on this run through it?
I think season 4.
We're at the part where Tom, who's another one of the characters, he works under Leslie Knope. He just opened a club, and that club went bankrupt or something like that, right? With John Ralphio.
His business, entertainment, something. It had numbers. and then it goes out of business. But he's kind of like an ass when he's helping Leslie with her campaign.
He has horrible business practices. Like he hires like 2 NBA players to just like play a pickup game in the background. He has like 3 receptionists who are just kind of like on their phone or
getting
sleeping.
Paid $100,000.
Oh yeah,
nothing.
with what is it, full medical or something stupid like that. I'm gonna try a bite real quick of the food you made. I'm dying.
Do it because I've been eating this whole time. I was done waiting.
So I'm gonna try the scrambled eggs that she made.
Scrambled eggs. They need salt. I told you put salt on it. I notoriously undersalt everything.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I always love your scrambled eggs when you make them. So the way I prefer to make scrambled eggs is when I'm scrambling it, I like to put in a little bit of milk to what does that do? Doesn't it kind of like add fluffiness to it? No? When you add milk?
I think that's what people think.
What does it do?
But I saw somewhere online that it doesn't, and that water is what makes it fluffy.
So what does milk do then?
But I feel like you always ask for milk.
I swear there's a difference. I guess I don't know what it was.
I guess it changes the flavor slightly. I don't know.
Maybe I'll one of these days do an experiment where I just make some scrambled eggs with milk and then some without it and see what the actual difference is.
See what the difference is?
I swear it changes the texture. Because when I just make scrambled eggs without milk, the texture of it is like flatter. I don't even know how to.
I mean, you could be right. I don't know. I just saw something online. I prefer making it with water, but I made it with milk for you today.
But yeah, the scrambled eggs are pretty good. It's where is the salt? I think they taste pretty good. I just have like a really heavy preference for salt.
I can bring you salt.
Wait, no, I got it. You're gonna get in the shot. Okay.
Never mind.
You kill dead air while I go get salt real quick.
The Office is better. I'm really disappointed. I usually buy just like Kroger name brand potatoes, hash browns. And today I was like, no, I should buy name brand to make it better. And these ones turned out mushy and weird, and they're not the same, which is a bummer.
Don't listen to her about saying The Office is better. I completely disagree. I love The Office so much, but for me personally, Parks and Rec is just better. Because I feel there's something special about every character in Parks and Rec to me, at least. Like they all have their own like fun character traits. Like Tom is the like slacking, like funny doofus. Let's see, Chris Pratt, who plays Andy. He's like the golden retriever character.
Yeah, he's always
sweet
hilarious.
but dumb. Aubrey Plaza, I mean, that's one of her iconic characters, is from Parks and Rec. She's kind of like dark and twisted.
Weird as hell.
Kind of like, what is it called? Like outcast-ish. I don't know how to describe her.
I don't know about outcast.
Not outcast, but like,
she's just different and weird.
Yeah, hates everybody. Donna, her character, she's like materialistic. She's Tom's
like
kind
glam.
of yeah, she's like Tom's equivalent almost. And then you got Ben Wyatt, he's the nerd who ends up with Leslie. And then Ron Swanson, another iconic character. Most people who haven't seen the show might still know the Ron Swanson's character. He's like, I guess, his own version of machismo. He does all.
Who's that?
Ron Swanson? No, machismo is like.
No, I don't know who Ron Swanson is.
It's just like he has his own code of conduct of like manliness, quote unquote. Like he likes to do shit with his own hands. Like he woodworks. He like puts together chairs. He has like morals, like strict morals that he sticks to. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I don't know what Anne's character type would be. I guess just like the best friend to main character.
Best friend. She's a nurse.
Yeah. Like
looks like me.
She pushes
You're not even gonna comment on that?
No, I'm not gonna go into that. Some guy just said you look like her, I guess.
Yeah. Went to get food one day and this guy told me I looked like Ann Perkins. And I was really confused because at first he asked me if I watched Parks and Rec, and I was like, sure, yeah. He told me I look like one of the characters, and I thought for sure they were going to say Aubrey Plaza because my sister looks like Aubrey Plaza. So I was like, I could see how there's some similarities there. And he said Ann Perkins, and it literally took me a minute to even digest what he said.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Not even close.
So real quick, back to the food. The eggs are perfect. You didn't overcook them. They're not like undercooked or runny or any of that. Now I just tried the hash browns.
Garbage.
Would you like constructive criticism or?
I think it's the brand.
Yeah, it probably is the brand because every time that you typically make it, it comes out like crispy, brown but not burned, yummy.
The burned was my fault.
That's
I probably
okay.
had the heat up too high, but I was cooking so many things at once.
That's fine.
But they turned out mushy.
I also think it was the brand though.
They're
There's
mushy.
something about the yeah. So, I imagine they'll probably be the only miss on this meal is probably the hash browns, but it still tastes good. It doesn't. Yeah. It's not edible. It's just
not the texture we
want.
For
what you would want from hash browns. Typically, you'd want something that's like crispy on the top, and then underneath that is like fluffy, I guess, but not mushy. I'm gonna try some of the sausage links and bacon that you made. The sausage links are good. What brand did you use for the sausage link?
Is it called Johnson's?
Jimmy John's?
No.
Jimmy John. Wait, Jimmy John's is a brand of sausage, but I don't think they make
Jimmy
breakfast,
Dean
right?
is sausage. Jimmy John's is a sandwich shop.
Sorry, I always mix those two things. So which one did you use?
This isn't Jimmy Dean. I think it's called Johnson's.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
That's the brand I typically like to get for sausage.
I like it. Good flavor.
Did I cook it too much for you? Because I know you don't like things as burned, but I kind of like burned.
Yeah. So as you guys come to like listen to this podcast more, when you guys hear us talk a little bit about the food, you'll start to figure out what our preferences are. And my preference for, I guess, just a lot of things is I prefer to be on the softer side. But she prefers it, I guess, crispier, borderline burned.
Yep. Good.
It was interesting when we started to introduce our cooking to each other because at first, anytime you would cook something for me, I feel like the way you grew up, burnt meant safe to eat.
And dried out meant safe to eat. Absolutely.
And I grew up on the exact opposite end of that, where you would sometimes wonder if it was undercooked, but at least it was always juicy. And so it's just been interesting for us to try and like find that happy medium, obviously, where you still want it to be moist and cook through, but not burnt.
But my anxiety always gets the best of me, and I'm like, it needs to cook longer.
Yeah, but also like depending on the meat, it just has like a very quick, or at least I think so, like a quick period of when it's moist
chicken.
Versus chicken.
Yeah.
I swear to God, chicken's so hard to cook. Like
moist or that it's dry. It's like it's 2 seconds in between.
It feels like so finicky to me whenever I'm working with it. Like sometimes if I cut it too small, I feel like it cooks super fast and dries out. Sometimes if I cut the breast too thin and cook it, it dries out really quickly. Sometimes if I try to cook it while it's too thick, it doesn't cook through. It's just a real pain in the ass meat to cook, I think. Yeah, but actually, when I was first making eggs, the way my family would make it is they would cook the eggs until there was a little bit of like brown on the bottom of all the eggs.
I don't like that.
I didn't realize, like, I'm pretty sure that's burnt.
Overcooking it, it's probably losing all the nutrients in it too.
Yeah. And the reason why I say I'm pretty sure that's burnt is because anytime I've looked at like, actual chefs, who make it professionally, anytime they're making eggs, they usually are just like yellow with no browning on it. But it depends on the cooking method too. Like if you're frying it, then there's supposed to be like a little bit of browning. But for scrambling, for the most part, I don't think I've seen them like let it sit on the pan until it browns on the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a couple more bites. I'm starving like crazy.
You know what's gross? There was a time period in my life where I liked there to be like a brown hard layer on the bottom of my eggs. I was a teenager and I would make eggs and then I'd put cheese on top and put a lid on it and let the cheese melt. And I wanted the cheese and the eggs on the bottom to like get brown and hard. I tried making it again as an adult, and I was like, "What the hell was I thinking?" It was gross.
Yeah. Did you try the bacon yet?
I ate everything. I'm onto the waffles now.
God damn it. This always happens during our episodes.
Because you talk a lot, and I'm here just like, I want to eat this food. I'm starving because it's late. We used to eating at like 5 or 6, and we're eating at 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 hours past the time we would typically eat.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the bacon?
It was good. Was it overcooked for you?
I'm about to try it right now. Another example of food that she likes soft or like crispy, but I like soft will be bacon. I like my bacon kind of on the softer side, but I almost feel like that's like not typical. I think people usually do not like that for bacon.
Mm-hmm. I think people usually like crispy bacon, but not burned.
But as we've started to make like bacon over the years, I actually like both now. I've like reached a stage where it depends on my mood and also what the bacon is accompanied with. So like sandwiches, I actually want a softer bacon because when I'm biting into the sandwich, I don't want the bacon to like be stabbing the top of my mouth or like be breaking into my gums or like spilling everywhere when I bite in the sandwich. But I like crispy bacon bits on like soups, baked potatoes. I mean, I guess I don't know. Handheld things.
What
other foods? Salad. I'd like crispy bacon bits. But when I'm just eating bacon by itself, I usually prefer it on the softer side.
Okay, Parks and Rec question. Who's the best character?
When you say best,
like your favorite?
Ron Swanson, for me.
Why?
Well, in my opinion, all the characters are great, but some of them go through sort of like boring-ish parts throughout the whole show.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like Ron Swanson consistently is like entertaining, funny, and great throughout the show.
What's funny though is he's pretty static. You don't see a lot of growth and change within him.
Yeah.
Besides like his relationship with his coworkers. You see him develop more of a relationship, which kind of goes against what Ron Swanson does.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, he's mostly static. Like, he doesn't change much.
Well, I can elaborate a little bit on why I think Ron Swanson is personally my favorite character. So, Chris Traeger, I feel like, goes through points where he's not exactly funny. He's just kind of there. And I think she has, like, a couple things that makes me laugh, but I don't know if she's, like, the comedy relief for me as a character.
I don't care for her personality.
Really?
Hey, my favorite's not even in that picture. What the heck?
Tom?
Yeah.
So that's what your answer would be to that question?
Yeah, because he goes, little puppy.
You know what?
And then he does that smile.
It's tough because a lot of the quotable things are actually from Tom. The little puppy or DJ Roomba. What the fuck are the things he says to
treat
John
yourself.
Yeah,
that's him and Donna.
Hmm?
That's him and Donna.
Oh, yeah. Treat yourself. What other thing? Can you think of any other stuff?
I just think of his smile when he always looks at the camera and just does that smile.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. That's why I like him so much, because every time he smiles at the camera, I think it's hilarious.
That's actually one of my favorite things about The Office is those little moments where the characters will look at the screen at like perfect moments. Yeah,
because Jim does it all the time.
Jim has that look where he'll just be like, he'll look at the camera like that, and I feel like Tom does that, except his version is just like smiling at the camera. Let's see. Oh, but the point I was making, Ben Wyatt, not exactly comedy relief for me either.
Nah, he's not very funny. Leslie's funny.
Leslie has a couple of funny moments as well, but I feel like later on in the show, I start to not really care for her character. Like after she becomes a councilwoman.
That's why I think The Office is better.
Why is that?
I lose interest. Like I don't stop watching, but I lose interest in Parks and Rec after she becomes a councilwoman.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel as exciting to me after that point.
A
and
little
obviously,
bit, yeah.
The Office has a point where it falls off too. After Michael Scott leaves, it's not the same, right?
No.
But I feel like they make it longer before it gets to that storyline.
I sort of disagree.
Do you?
Who's the guy who plays Elf, the actor?
Will Ferrell?
Is he the replacement for Michael Scott right after him?
One episode, and it's like the worst episode.
I love Will Ferrell.
I don't.
I like him.
I don't think he's funny.
Okay. But I can't fucking stand his character in The Office.
Mm-hmm.
His character is so obnoxious to me.
Where do you like him besides Elf? Elf is good. I'll give that.
You know
Otherwise,
what?
what is he good
you're
in?
right. I really only like him in Elf.
He's very obnoxious, and so Elf is what makes it perfect for him.
It actually like
because he's supposed to be like an adult that's obnoxious and
right. So that
totally
like,
missing social cues.
Acting style actually is perfect for that kind of movie. But isn't there a Christmas movie that he was in other than Elf?
There's a new one, isn't there, that just came out this last season?
Wasn't he in something with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, I remember seeing a picture, but I didn't watch it, so I don't know what it is.
But to finish my point, Ron Swanson, pretty much consistently throughout the show, he's just super funny.
He is. I'll give you that. The characters in Parks and Rec are better. Like, I don't think there's any character I actively dislike.
Oh, yeah.
But The Office, I don't like Pam. I think she's obnoxious. She's not funny.
I'm trying to think of
she's
characters.
Like one of the main ones.
I'm trying to think of characters I dislike in The Office.
Do you dislike Toby?
I don't mind him. He's kind of a nothing character to me.
I think he's a good character because Michael Scott hates him so much.
That's what I was getting to. That I think his character itself is not like the, whatever, but his dynamic with Michael Scott is just so funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny to have like a character that gets bullied on in these kind of mockumentaries, but it doesn't always hit. Sometimes I start to feel bad a little bit. Oh, you know what?
Like Jerry.
Parks and Rec, actually. I would argue that The Office does pretty well at, like, for the most part, making it pretty funny anytime Toby is given a hard time. But I feel like in Parks and Rec, there are definitely moments where I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. Poor Jerry. But maybe they intentionally did that. You don't want to hate all the characters, right? Adds a little bit of dynamic.
I don't hate Jerry at all.
I don't hate Jerry either.
I like genuinely feel bad for him. I'm like, poor guy.
But we were watching the episode. What was kind of cool is they'll add in if you're actually watching the show, what makes them making fun of Jerry like even more great is he's actually like
such a sweet guy.
Well, let's make a list of things. He's always like willing to help.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of the office, he's usually the one who almost, I think, every time will help. Mm-hmm. The other characters, they're not like, sometimes it'll take them some convincing or they just won't. The show makes it clear that he has like a beautiful wife and family.
Beautiful wife and family, a huge dick.
Well, I was getting to that. Yeah, beautiful wife and family.
Beautiful dick.
And no, Jesus Christ. Yeah, apparently he's packing a hog, according to the jerk doctor on the show. He's on the one show where they're raising money for the fundraiser. He's like really talented at the piano.
Oh yeah.
And they kick him off. They're like, all right, Jared, get off. There was another thing where I think they were trying to submit art onto the wall for a contest in their government building, and he did this
mural, and it's beautiful,
amazing mural that Leslie like threw it or something. What she did? She's like, "No, Jerry."
So
or everyone said it sucked.
Pointillism, right? Like each part of the picture was a smaller picture of each citizen in Pawnee.
Yeah.
It was like the only good idea they had for this mural. But he mispronounced pointillism. He said something weird.
Yeah.
No. It was murinal. He mispronounced mural and said murinal.
Mm-hmm.
So then they started laughing at him saying urinal. Mm-hmm. And they said, all right, Jerry's disqualified, even though he had like this amazing mural.
Mm-hmm.
That would have looked so cool. He's like thoughtful, kind, and like all these positive qualities. And they just shit on him.
You know what's so weird is... Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I love that Ben... He's not from Pawnee. He comes in like the very end of the second season, right? He recognizes that Jerry's this cool guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
I totally forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, I think because we see more of it as the seasons go on.
That is the one thing I really love about Ben Wyatt is he's a little bit of a contrarian in a lot of the ways of the show, and I think it's actually kind of refreshing. So he comes into Pawnee. He's like, hey, your town is not special. It's like any other town. Mm-hmm. And I think he carries that kind of attitude like throughout the show. Like when they're all obsessed about Sebastian, he's like, it's just a mini horse, which is kind of how I feel.
But I love Lil Sebastian because they love Lil Sebastian. Like when Ron like does his squeal, it's hilarious. And then when he dies,
oh my god,
Andy writes bye Lil Sebastian.
Wait, before I forget, I'm remembering the scene where it's the beginning of the episode, but they're going over the planning for the funeral proceedings for Lil Sebastian. And Ben Wyatt and Leslie Knope are talking to Ron in a room, and Ben is like, and the funeral for the small horse, he kind of said it like a dick, and then Ron was like very serious, like anger, was like, "What'd you just say?" And then Ben is like, "Oh, sorry." Then he said it with respect, which is so funny. And then there's another scene where Ron is like, "You know, I saw the flag was at half-mast," and I was like, yes, another government bureaucrat ate it. Yeah. But then I figured out it was Lil Sebastian. That flag is too damn high.
That's a good line.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, Ben Wyatt, I think the same way how it's nice to... Damn it, I lost my point. Anyways, Ben Wyatt is a contrarian in a lot of ways, and I think it's nice in the show.
Is a what? I'm not making fun of you. I genuinely don't know what you're saying.
No, I don't want to say it.
Are you saying something wrong?
I don't know, but I'm not going to let you know that.
No, what did you say? I just don't know the point you're making because I can't understand.
I was just saying that Ben Wyatt comes in and will say the opposite of it, how everyone feels.
You were like saying a variation of contrary. But I don't know.
I think contrarian is a word.
I'm sure it is. I'm just not recognizing it.
I'm not about to Google if that's a word or not, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. It's okay. I'm not gonna make
Did you
fun
try
of
your waffles yet?
Yeah, I ate everything already.
Okay, if you want to kill dead air while I try to want to eat a little bit more of my food. Yeah, kill air.
So The Office is better.
No, it's not.
Because I think Michael Scott carries the whole show. Steve Carell's hilarious. And when I started The Office, the very first episode, I think I was like everyone else. I was like, this guy's obnoxious. I'm not going to watch this. This is so stupid. But being the girl that I was, I kept watching it because I was like, Jim and Pam are going to end up together. I got to see where this goes. And then after the first season, they kind of toned down Michael Scott a little bit to make him a little bit more relatable. Like, you kind of feel for him. You're like, oh, this poor guy. Yeah, they humanize
him with a lot of scenes.
Yeah. And so... that's when you start to like it because he's hilarious. And like when he's always talking to the camera and he just says the most hilarious things.
They humanize him with the part where he's the only one that goes to Pam's art show. Remember? That's one of the scenes. She drew...
and then he gave her a hug and then she was worried he had a boner, but it was just like chocolate in his pocket.
I think she started crying too, right?
I think so.
And then he hung up her...
He drew a picture of the office and then he hung it up inside the office. Mm-hmm. So sweet.
Yeah.
I think Parks and Rec would be better if they didn't have Leslie run for councilwoman.
Yeah.
But I get that's part of her arc because she's aspiring to be like a female leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's part of who Leslie is. But I just lose interest after that. I still watch it and it's still funny, but it's just not the same.
You know what? One thing in Parks and Rec that really kills it for me, other than her being councilwoman, I hate that Ron and her become enemies. It feels so forced.
Yeah, but it's only like an episode or two, right?
I don't care. They know each other so well. They're basically like family. They worked with each other for years. Then all of a sudden they despise each other. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like the reason wasn't even like...
It was a big deal. Do you remember the reason?
Tell me.
It's like the very first episode. She promises to build a park in the pit, right? Where the pit is that Andy fell in.
Yeah.
And it never happens. And then one day Ron has left the government. He has like his own business and he builds a building on that lot. Even though that was like the special thing to her. Because it was like her connection with Anne.
Mm-hmm.
And like her big project. I think that's a big deal.
Sure?
That was like a huge premise of the show forever. We're going to build a park on this lot.
Are you sure that's the reason? I could have sworn he's upset with her because he wanted her to give him an excuse to leave the government. There was something. He wanted to like go along with the department and he felt left out because everyone left and he was the only one remaining there.
I think that happened too. I think both of them happened. I remember
really?
that. And he felt sad that he was like it was a sad line. He said one day he just like looked up and everyone was like it was all strangers.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
I hate that too about Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Everyone just leaves and does different things. It's weird. What does Andy end up doing? What does Andy end up doing? I don't remember.
He becomes the what is it called? The noodle guy replacement.
The what?
Mr. Noodle. Mr. Macaroni?
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. He does Johnny Karate.
Yeah. He becomes like kind of a performer.
But then he moves because April got a job somewhere else. And she's doing like the recruiting type of stuff, wasn't she?
For him?
No, like she was become like a recruiter, something along those lines.
Yeah, you might be right. And then let's see. Anne moves away with Chris Traeger.
Pretty early on though, like a couple seasons before the
even
end.
Before, I think everything went to crap. And then Tom.
I mean, Anne and Chris really weren't that huge of a loss. Let's be real.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Because Chris's personality is weird. Anne Perkins.
It's kind of like bubbly.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. I didn't care for it.
I didn't really need it in the show either. What are you doing?
I don't know. I was just staring at the picture. Why? Did I look weird?
No, it's just it's just interesting that we have a podcast together. And your brain will just jump. I can see in your eyes the exact moment when your brain just jumps out through your ears and takes a break. And that's like so hard for a podcast.
I have a hard time focusing.
That's okay. You want to talk more about Parks and Rec while I eat this waffle? How many seasons are there?
I don't know, like 7. That's a guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That definitely is a guess.
I think Dwight is a better character than anybody in Parks and Rec.
Ooh, you know what?
I think he outshines all of them. Every time you tell me to fill dead air, I'm going to talk about why The Office is better. I don't know if you're catching on.
This episode about Parks and Rec is becoming.
Listen, you chose Parks and Rec, and I went with it because breakfast food is the best.
Someone's saying in chat that The Office is better.
I agree. Who is it?
By the way, so I just wanted to say, I should say this now since we're actually getting people to the chat and the what is it called?
His brain broke.
Yeah, my brain broke. They're actually starting to message in chat. So on the previous episodes, we actually had a title on the screen for our video watchers of the podcast that said alerts are off and chat is off. So we won't be responding to chat. But We were thinking that I don't think it would actually take away from the final recording of the podcast to at least interact a little bit with chat.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to keep it as much as we can related to the podcast. So like if it's ever like niceties or like, hey, how's it
Random
going?
shit.
We probably won't respond to it. But if it's related to the podcast, then we will. Way better, all caps. Someone says in chat.
My new best friend. I think that should be my new co-host. Who is it?
Well, what's the reason for the office being better?
It just is.
That's the shitty reason.
Okay, Jim, always looking at the camera. Hilarious.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. Michael Scott,
Tom
hilarious.
looks at the camera. Wait. Don't just rush through all these points. I'll counterpoint. Okay, so Jim looks at the camera.
What's the chat saying? I saw more. That's more important.
They agree. They say Dwight is their favorite.
Dwight's better than
I will say
any
Dwight
character.
is a very, very, very well written character.
Really unique too.
I think he might be my favorite character in The Office because I go through so many stages with him. Like I go through a stage of I can't stand him. Like he's such an asshole. Like when he was being mean to Pam and he's like, "Oh, you've gone fat." I was like, "Wow, what an asshole." But then there are other times where I'm like, you know what? I'm actually rooting for him when he was throwing snowballs at Jim. And like hitting the
I
snowman.
hated that episode.
I love that.
Jim was bleeding.
And I think by that point, like Jim had been such an asshole to him. Yeah, that I'm like, you know what? Yes, you deserve this. You've been
Eat it, bitch.
Yeah, a little bit of karma coming your way. Okay, so if it's looking at the camera, Tom does it. I think
not as much as Jim, and Tom does it like he does that like smile, like he thinks he's
Ron
cool.
does it too.
But Jim's is like,
Andy
nope,
does it.
Let me finish my point.
Wait.
No,
I'm just saying like Andy does it too. Whenever Andy says something stupid, he goes.
He does like that. But I still think Jim's is better because it's usually when someone's doing something stupid and he's like, "Here we go again." Like, it's a better point. He makes a better point when he looks at the camera, and his facial expressions are better too. They're more diverse too. It's not just a smile.
Someone in chat said Jim does the look. What about Creed? Overrated?
Wait.
Or overrated or overhated?
What? I love Creed. He's in there just enough. Like if you had him more in there, it wouldn't be good. But the fact that he's there just every once in a while saying something like outrageous, it's amazing. I think it's amazing.
I think he feels a little bit of a filler character to me. I could do with or without him. I feel like they could have done way more with him, like with the rumor of him being the Scranton Strangler.
I thought that Toby was the rumor.
Or maybe it was Toby. I can't remember.
Toby was the one that was rumored.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
Was it never Creed?
Maybe there was a theory Creed and I didn't see it.
Maybe that's something I read online. I just get confused because at the very end, Creed was literally arrested. So, you know, I saw a deleted scene with Creed that I actually really, really wish they kept.
What is it? I feel like I've seen it too.
Wait, don't spoil it, please. So, it's a part. Okay, I will say it without laughing. So they're in a meeting. And someone says rudely to, I think someone, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but someone's being mean to Creed, and they're like, "Oh, aren't you like hella old or something?" And then they start piling on him, like, "Yeah, and ugly, blah blah blah." That's not the exact words, but they start piling on him, and he's like, "Okay, I get your point." And he walks out of the office all calm, and then it cuts to him just crying. He's just like, he's literally like, oh. Yeah, that. And parts like that, I wish they didn't cut.
See, you're having a stronger, more positive reaction to The Office than Parks and Rec. I didn't see you get this animated for Parks and Rec before. You were just talking like this, and this happens. And now you're animated and excited because you know The Office is better.
No, it's the sugar in these waffles. It's getting me. It's giving me energy.
Starting to act like Leslie.
I know. These are really good. Can you tell them? Wait, should we spill the beans on our recipe?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's online.
It's not our recipe.
Yeah, it's not ours.
Maddie Matheson has a chicken and waffles recipe. and the waffles in it are amazing. So we just eat it for regular waffles.
It's so fucking fire.
There's cinnamon in them.
So one of my favorite things to watch online or just shows in general is cooking. And there's a YouTuber. And I think he's a professional chef as well, and he owns a bunch of his own restaurants. Oh, he's on the show The Bear. He's the mechanic guy for the restaurant. But anyways, he has his own YouTube channel, and we like to take a lot of his recipes, right? And use them.
And Joshua Wiseman's.
Love Joshua Wiseman. That's like our two chefs from YouTube that we like to.
And that one lady, Natasha.
Natasha's
Kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, but his waffle recipe is the best.
From the chicken and waffles, though, I don't know if he has a normal waffle recipe that's different. This one's the bomb.
The way we found out about this recipe is there's a period of time where
Tavita actually cooked.
Yes. But I'd find TikTok videos and YouTube videos, and if I was interested in making it, I would just cook it. And Maddie Matheson put out a chicken and waffles video, and so I cooked that. And both the chicken and waffles were amazing, but the waffles were just so good that we snippeted the... What?
Nothing.
What's so funny?
What did you just say?
I said snippeted.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I'm making up words. Who fucking cares? They get it. Snippeted. Oh, wait. Maybe I should say... Now I lost my train of thought. God damn you. But anyways, if you guys want to try this waffle recipe, go to YouTube, search up Maddie Matheson. It's a part of his chicken and waffles video. So we try to do or at least I was thinking when we were making the waffles, I was trying to do it as close as to how Leslie makes it. But tell the listeners how you would typically make your waffle.
What do you mean? Right as you take a huge bite. I just made the waffles. The only difference is we just piled on a shit ton of whipped cream.
No, there's other ways we make waffles.
No.
Yes, there is.
I don't make waffles any other way.
Peanut butter?
Oh, occasionally I like to put peanut butter, but genuinely I just eat these waffles with syrup.
So she's a fucking liar.
No, so. Whatever. Fuck off.
Well, for me at least.
I like peanut butter on pancakes.
Peanut butter on pancakes is pretty damn good. What do you prefer? Waffles or pancakes?
Butter. Waffles.
Why?
Texture.
Yep. I agree.
And these waffles are so amazing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that beats them.
We haven't found an exact pancake recipe that's just
there was the one time I made those banana pancakes when we put chocolate chips and peanut butter and whipped cream.
Oh yeah,
you literally said it was like eating a restaurant.
Pretty good. I like waffles personally because all the little pockets, waffles are kind of designed to catch syrup and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes with pancakes, it'll just all fall to the side and spill off your plate. Sometimes,
What about French toast? Where's that rank?
Ooh.
Depends on the French toast. Some French toast literally just tastes like eggs, and it's what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like I don't even know how to say this. I've had bad French toast and good French toast, but for the most part, I've never had bad pancakes or waffles. Just okay or good or great. Does that even make sense what I said?
Kinda.
So I've had French waffles where there was so much. You're laughing again. What's so funny?
Because you said French waffles.
French toast. French toast. Sometimes when people make it, they do too much of an egg wash and
it's just too much egg. It's like egg and bread.
Yeah, it's basically just
But you need lots of cinnamon and I don't know if there's any sugar. I don't know if I've ever made French toast. Can you believe that?
Usually I'm the one making it.
Uh-huh.
You're laughing again.
No, I'm not. I'm fine.
No, you're not. You're losing over there, and I have no idea why.
I'm fine.
So funny about me eating a waffle.
Nothing. Well, earlier I was laughing because you do this thing, and I don't even know if you're aware of it. But if you're eating and then you start talking, you cover your face with your hand. And you'll just like leave your hand hovering there for so long. And I just just imagine how giant that bite of food is in your mouth that you're doing for that long. Your cheek looks like a chipmunk.
I know. For people who are watching the video.
See, there's the hand.
Just because I want people to fucking see the food in my mouth.
Open your mouth like this.
Ew, no. But I do it as a courtesy. I know a lot of people are very averse to hearing food being eaten, and I think it's the same way with seeing it. I mean, I don't like seeing food when it's being eaten. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
You don't care?
I don't care. No.
Okay. I guess everyone has their own thing. There's not anything with food that really grosses you out. Seafood.
Yeah, a type of food. Or uncooked food. Like uncooked meat, I should say.
Well, yeah, clearly uncooked meat.
No, it like sometimes makes me so sick that even once the food is cooked, I'm like, I can't eat this because I know what it looked like before. And I know what it smelled like before. Like that day I made fajitas, and we the stupid girl at the pickup at the store just gave us way more meat than I ordered. So now I was like, cool, I'm gonna make a ton of food and we'll have leftovers. But I spent so long cutting all the meat that I just felt sick and I couldn't eat the food.
Really? I feel like that just happens to me. Sometimes when you're cooking for so long, you either one, just lose your appetite for it, or two, you eat it, and sometimes I'll be like, this is good, but this doesn't feel like it's giving me the gratification I wanted out of how long and how hard, and my back aches, my feet ache. I'm tired after work.
I'm tired digging holes, Grandpa.
Well, that's too damn bad. You've done this on another episode, I'm pretty sure.
Have I?
Yeah.
I have the same 6 quotes. What are you gonna do?
Yep. Yes, you do. Do we want to say anything more about we actually are past our 30. Do you want to say anything more about the show or food? Oh, can I get my review of your waffles? Oh, did I already?
I don't know.
I think I made it clear that it's good because it's Maddie Matheson's recipe.
Okay.
Oh, but typically I'd put peanut butter on my waffles too. That's what I really like is peanut butter.
Yeah, it's good.
Whipped cream, syrup. Yeah, I'm just stalling because it looks like you want to say something.
No, I don't. I'm fine.
Okay.
I do want to say something, but you were asking for final thoughts, right?
Yeah.
My final thoughts are: if you're choosing between Parks and Rec and The Office, choose The Office. I said it fast so you wouldn't interrupt me, but he just took a giant bite, so it was good.
And my final thoughts are: this is your last episode.
It was nice knowing you all. All 4 people, maybe 3.
We'll get there. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 6th episode of Parks and Recreation. It feels so weird saying Parks and Recreation. I never call it that. I say Parks and Rec.
Is that what it's actually called?
Mm-hmm. I literally found that out today.
Wow.
Because when I Googled it, I tried to title it exactly, like the capitalization, the words, everything, exactly how it came out. It's Parks and Recreation. But no one ever says that. Oh, real funny. Oh, hand in front of mouth.
No.
Oh, what?
Well, I could actually hear the food in your mouth, too.
God damn it. But I typically call it Parks and Rec.
I think we all do.
Right? I've never heard anyone saying, you ever seen Parks and Recreation? That's stupid. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to the 6th episode. I hope you guys liked it. We actually decided, outside of the episode, we were talking and we were kind of thinking that when we are talking about the food and the lore of media, that we should be, what is the word? What did we end up deciding? It should be more about the food and
maybe I was saying if you guys are listening, you probably already are familiar with Parks and Rec, so we're not going to sit here and summarize the whole thing for you.
Because I kind of imagine if I was looking, if I didn't know this podcast existed, what would drive me to an episode is the title of whatever thing I really like.
So I'd be more interested in the review, the things you like, didn't like, anything you don't like from Parks and Rec. I guess we didn't say that.
Didn't say what?
Things we don't like from Parks and Rec.
I kind of did. I said characters that I'm like kind of indifferent about.
That's true.
Leslie,
I definitely said what I like.
definitely.
We're good.
We're
Never
good.
mind. I'm good.
But yeah, we don't. But we're thinking that maybe we shouldn't do like an in-depth like breakdown of how.
This is what happens in season 1. This is what happens.
Yeah, because I imagine for a lot of the listeners that'll be finding our podcast will already be big fans of these things, so we'll just be doing more of like our opinion and like critiques and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways, listen to our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watch the video recorded version on my personal gaming YouTube channel, Teffin, TEFF3N. I just found out the other day that Spotify has video formatting.
I know. I tried asking if you were going to put that on when we first started, and you didn't get what I was saying, and I kind of just gave up.
Maybe we can like do that. We have the video version of every single episode we've recorded thus far.
Why not? Everyone gets to see your ugly face.
Okay, we'll decide this up, but it might not be a bad idea to do video on Spotify as well. And again, like we say every episode, we have social medias like TikTok, Instagram. If you guys want to see pictures, photos of the food, please go check out those social medias so you could see
when I actually post them.
When we actually post them, we'll try to be better about that. Oh, and also, I don't know if I've ever actually said this, but every episode, I've gotten into a rhythm that ideally every episode will be releasing on Monday at 4 a.m. So just expect each episode.
Mountain Standard Time. Is that what that is? MST?
Yeah, Mountain Standard Time, Denver time. So that will be that time zone at 4 a.m. every Monday. But thank you guys so much for listening to Lore Lunchbox. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Books. Ooh.
Oh, what?
Books.
Oh, next week. Books. Third week of the month. Yes, that's third week of the month because that's when we have books. Anyways, see you guys next week for when we do books. Bye.
Bye.